All right, we're live, and I am flying solo today, my first live podcast ever. And it couldn't be at a better time because this is one of my favorite weeks here in the gym. It is retest week, coming off the Thanksgiving holiday. I definitely heard some grumbles from people in classes this morning about why do you do it this week? Why not a different week? I didn't do it on purpose, I promise. It's just how it lined up. But I think this is such an awesome way to really wrap up the final cycle of 2024. And this has been our all-star cycle. So it's been a great combination of all the fun workouts we've done throughout the year and really just a celebration of fitness. So got a really fun week. We're going to get into the workouts for retest week in just a couple minutes. But first, I wanted to chat a little bit about some of the things that, prepping for this retest week, writing my weekly emails that have kind of got me thinking about. And actually, just by chance this morning, I was getting actually, it's not by chance. My phone listens to me, it listens to all of us. And I was getting videos about the presidential fitness test and like its origins and how it's changed over time. And that got me really just thinking about the last time I was truly tested, other than, the obvious answers. Academic tests, we've all studied for tests in high school, college, whatever it might be. Maybe you had a certification at work you had to study for, something like that. But really testing your physical abilities in, a structured setting was just that dreadful presidential fitness test that we did in elementary and middle school. I think it was a mile run, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups. The sit and reach was the only thing I was good at. It was basically if you could touch your toes or not. I don't know what that was. But yeah, and it was a really negative experience for a lot of people. And I struggled with, some folks retest week rubs them the wrong way. And I was like, man, why wouldn't anyone just love this week and getting to see their progress or how well they did, areas they need to improve upon. And then I remembered how I felt during those presidential fitness tests. And I think for some folks, it can be a similar feeling or situation. But the biggest difference between what we're doing here and those tests we did back in school is that we're actually providing you with a plan to get better rather than just sticking you under a pull-up bar and saying, do as many pull-ups as you can. We'll see you again in 6 months, and we're going to hope it gets better. That's not fair, especially for a little kid. And it's still not fair for adults to present you with a series of workouts or tests and then just having no rhyme or reason to what we do in the gym and then giving them back to you 6, 8 weeks later, a few months later, and expecting you to do better. But that's exactly what we've been working on when we're building these programming cycles. I gave you all of those workouts 8 weeks ago, and every week since then has been super intentional to help every person, no matter your journey, be successful whenever you get back to that retest week. So if you're a person that really dreads the idea of a test, maybe you also need to ask yourself, what pressure are you putting on yourself and where is that pressure coming from whenever you're testing yourself? And I think, people that get uncomfortable by weeks like this or situations like this, it's maybe because your whole life you've tied the idea of testing, especially physical tests, to some sort of extrinsic motivation. So something that's happening out there away from you. And you're doing that instead of looking internally for motivation. We're constantly worried about how we're going to stack up to the person next to us, literally next to us. Back in the day, when you do your pull-ups, someone would go first, they'd do great, you'd go next, you'd fail. And that comparison just really put you down. We might not ever get the trophy or the prize or the praise from someone else. And everything is so tied up in that moment, and it's not tied up in any of the work that it took you to get there. I think we really have to take the idea of testing and take the risk out of it. I think a lot of people look at a test or, showing a set of skills as something that's risky. And risk implies that there's something on the line that can be lost. And if you're working every day to get closer to a goal, there is not a situation where you will ever lose. You might miss the mark. You might fall short of what you imagined you would do. But if you try every step of the way, you're never going to find yourself in a place of loss. You're going to move forward somehow. And I hope that that's what everyone kind of feels after, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a whole training cycle here at Oxfit, is really, no matter what you're doing, if you're showing up every day and working, you're never going to be at a place of loss. You're always going to be improving somehow. And whenever you're working towards a goal and your sole motivator is that internal satisfaction, knowing that you're doing the best you can and that you're getting better, you're always going to be content with the outcome, no matter what it is. So even if you set a goal and you are 20 pounds short of that, or you wanted to do 5 pull-ups, but you only did 1, I promise that you're not going to be upset with yourself and you're not going to regret all the work you put in, because your motivation is coming from inside yourself. It's not coming from you trying to win a trophy or you trying to do better than the person next to you. And I promise that any Oxfit class you go to, any Oxfit coach you talk to, you will never, ever, ever hear us say your name in relation to something that someone else is doing. It's always going to be a conversation about ways that you can succeed, ways that you can improve the awesome things that you've already accomplished. It's all going to be about you and your goals. And that's what Retest Week is. It's just us all celebrating our individual goals together. It's not a competition. There's no external motivation. We're here to help all of you find the internal motivation in what you're doing every day when you come to the gym. So I hope that maybe resonates with some people. And if you are feeling apprehensive about Retest Week, or it gives you anxiety and you don't know why it gives you anxiety, maybe ask yourself some of those things. Like, what am I trying to prove here? Let's see what Ant says. I didn't PR any lift today, but enjoyed seeing where I am after the holidays. Motivated me to focus on some heavy lifting to start 2025. Right. And I know for a fact that even though Ant didn't PR any lift today, he's looking back at all of the weeks of training and workouts that he's done. And it's not a regret. It's still being content with all the work that you've done. And if anything, giving you some motivation to, like Ant said, shoot for something else in the upcoming months or next year, next week. So yeah, I know it's only Monday. What time is it? 11:23. We've only had a handful of workouts to the dozens and dozens we have coming up this week, but I've already been super proud of the athletes, whether they PR'd, whether they didn't PR. Maybe you struggled to show up in the gym the weeks leading up to this week over the holidays, but whatever you've been doing, it's been worth it. And I hope that you find, happiness and you feel content with everything that you've been doing, and you just choose to celebrate it this week, no matter what that looks like for you. Whitney says, external comparison is a thief of joy. That's a fact. That's a fact. You're never going to be happy if you always compare yourself to other people. But yeah, that's enough rambling from me. 8 minutes and 48 seconds. That's impressive. All right, let's go ahead and get into some of these Retest Week workouts that we have. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Let's see. If you're on a phone, this is probably kind of tiny, but you can still listen to me chat about it. All right, Monday, December 2nd, we have our All-Star Liftoff. This is coming out hot after the holiday. This is a really fun workout. I'm going to call it a workout because even though we're building to these 1-rep maxes, you do have 1 minute of work to get through at the beginning of each section, and you have a pretty tight time cap to get to those lifts. So you really have to move pretty quick, and you might not be hitting numbers that you would hit if you did a 1-rep max of any of these movements in an isolated setting, or if you just had a ton of time. So that's really what I want people to remind themselves of, you have to treat this all-star liftoff as one big thing. You can't treat it as a 1 rep max bench press, a 1 rep max back squat, deadlift, and power clean, right? So look at it as a whole. The whole thing is a challenge aside from those individual lifts. And yeah, this is a fun one to get the week started with. And then tomorrow we are going to take a little break from, oh, geez. All right, let's log into Wodify. I'll keep chatting about tomorrow. Tomorrow's DECA Forever, and that's going to be our cardio workout, 6 minutes on each machine. I know everybody loves that one. Let's see if it'll pull it up. Dun-dun-dun. This DECA Forever, I know. Okay, and we're back. All right. 6 minutes can kind of seem like a lot to bite off at one time. But if you just, when you're on that machine, take it 1 minute at a time. Maybe give yourself a target of every minute I'm going to try and get 10 calories to start or 12 calories to start. And then those last 2 minutes that you're on that machine, anything you've got in the tank, you can just kind of leave it out there. So if you've never done that workout before, that might be my recommendation. Most of us, this is going to be our second time doing it. So maybe try and figure out how many calories you need to get each minute and just keep chipping away for all 6 minutes. And just remember, you do get that 6 minutes rest in between each one. So plenty of time to recover. And then Wednesday, we're going to be back on the barbell for our DTF. We've got a little sprint interval of 12 toes to bar, 9 deadlifts, and 6 hang power cleans. This one, man, don't get lost in the transition between those toes to bar, deadlifts, and hang power cleans. As soon as you hop off one bar, try to scoot over to the next one as quickly as possible. Try not to dilly-dally too much, just walking across the gym, because that is where you're going to lose a lot of time. And other than that, it's really just hang on for dear life as long as you can. Thursday, Hexa Strong. This is a long one, but this is a really fun workout. And the way I coached it the last time that I think really helped is seeing the workout, seeing the whole week. Yeah, I had the whole week up, but I can bring each individual workout up. Is that better? There we go. All right. 30-minute AMRAPs. You've got that 100-meter farmer's carry, 40 reverse lunges, 30 get overs, 20 med ball sit-ups, 10 D-ball cleans, 5 devil press. Last time I coached this, I had people kind of pace themselves on the farmer's carry, the reverse lunges, and then as soon as you start getting to the last 10 or 15 box get overs, try to speed up through those last few movements. It's not a ton of reps, and then you can come back and catch your breath on the farmer's carry and reverse lunges. But try to stay moving and then just pick up the pace towards the tail end of each round. And then Friday is everybody's favorite from last time. I know it left people a little bit sad. Out the gate, yes, I know. All right, Ant says he's not seeing the workouts. Are we seeing the workouts? Somebody let me know. I think you should be able to see them. Lord Farquaad, 21, 15, 9, 15, 21. I don't think anybody got past that middle number 9 when we did this workout. This is really just a sprint. 10 minutes goes way faster than you think it does. And after you get through that set of 21 of each of these movements, you're going to start moving through those movements a lot quicker than you did the first round. So 21 is going to take forever, and then just try to speed up through the 15 and the 9. And if you can get into that second set of 15, good for you, but we're just going to try to keep moving that entire 10 minutes. What we don't want to have happen is you guys come out way too hot, go unbroken on all the thrusters, speed through the burpees, lunges, and pull-ups, and then have to walk around for a minute and catch your breath. So it's a good combination of figuring out your pace, but also trying to hustle through the end of this workout. And lastly, Saturday, we are going to be back at the track for the Cheney Challenge. 30-minute AMRAP, 400-meter run, 21 hang snatches, and 42 lateral jumps over the line. This is just a really fun community workout, great way to get outside, enjoy the track, enjoy the community, and wrap up an awesome retest week. So if you're watching this, you can drop a comment about what workout you are looking forward to the most. Maybe it's your favorite, maybe you just want to get it over with, but you can let me know which one of these workouts that might be. I think for me, I've got some unfinished business with Lord Farquad. I was not at 100% during baseline week when I tested it, so I am really looking forward to getting back to that barbell and those pull-ups, burpees, lunges, and just seeing how many reps I can get on that one. But yeah, retest week is here. Last cycle of 2024, believe it or not. After we finish retest week, we have a lot of fun workouts coming up because 12 days of OXFIT is going to kick off on Monday, December 12th. And that is going to take us pretty much all the way up to the Christmas, New Year holiday time. So after retest week, if you're looking for a really great challenge to wrap up the year, a great way to prioritize your fitness, it's going to be to complete all 12 days. That's unbroken. We go right through Sunday, back to the next week, 12 workouts in a row. Whitney says, Lord Farquad all day. All right, Whitney and I need to decide what class we're going to. We're going to do that one together this week, I bet. Sweet. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for joining my live podcast. 17 minutes, that's pretty good. I don't think I've ever said this many words in a row without stopping. So grateful to be here. Thankful for you guys if I didn't say it last week. And I'll see you in the gym. Let's go ahead and crush these retest week workouts. Let's go.